Hello, it's Mr. G, your business teacher. Today, I've got something extremely valuable for you. This is your ultimate guide to GCSE Business Paper 1, based on real examiner reports. Every year, thousands of students make the same mistakes in this exam, and today, I'll show you exactly how to avoid them and how to maximize your marks. We're going to break down the most common errors, look at what top students do differently, and go step by step through real exam questions so you can see exactly how to structure your answers for the best results. If you apply what I teach you today, you'll have a massive advantage over other students sitting this exam. Let's dive in. Before we get into the mistakes and strategies, let's quickly go over what Paper 1 is all about. This paper focuses on influences of operations and human resources on business activity. The exam will test your ability to analyze business situations, interpret data, and evaluate decisions in real-life scenarios. It includes multiple-choice questions, short-answer questions, calculation-based questions, and extended response questions worth up to 12 marks. This means you need to develop a range of skills from explaining concepts clearly to applying business knowledge in context, performing calculations, and constructing well-reasoned arguments. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let's move on to the biggest mistakes students make in this paper. Common mistakes and how to fix them. One of the biggest reasons students lose marks is failing to apply context to their answers. Examiners say that weak responses feel generic, as if they could apply to any business rather than the one given in the question. This is a big problem in Paper 1 because many questions are based on case studies. If a question is about a retail store, don't just say the business should reduce prices to attract customers. Instead, say, as a supermarket operating in a highly competitive market, Tesco should consider lowering prices on essential goods to attract more customers and increase footfall. That small addition makes a huge difference in how your answer is marked. Another major mistake is listing points without explaining them. Many students think they will get marks just for stating facts, but that's not enough. You need to develop your answers using peel, point, explain, example, and link. Instead of saying e-commerce helps businesses increase sales, develop it further. E-commerce helps businesses increase sales because it allows them to reach a wider customer base online. For example, ASOS generates most of its revenue through online sales rather than physical stores. This has allowed them to grow while keeping operating costs lower than traditional retailers. That extra explanation and example are what get you the full marks. Students also lose marks in 9 and 12-mark questions because of weak evaluation. Examiners want to see a structured evaluation where you compare different factors, weigh up short-term versus long-term impacts, and justify your conclusion. A weak answer might say, expanding internationally will help the business grow, but it has risks. That's too vague. A high-scoring response would say, expanding internationally will increase revenue and brand awareness, but it also involves cultural and logistical challenges. However, if the business conducts strong market research and adapts its strategy to each country, the benefits outweigh the risks, making expansion a viable strategy. That's how you secure full marks in evaluation questions. What successful students do differently? Now that we know what not to do, let's talk about what high-scoring students do differently. Examiners consistently say that top-performing students don't just know the content, they know how to apply it effectively in their answers. One of the biggest things they do well is applying context. Instead of giving generic responses, they always make sure to mention the business in the case study. This could mean referencing the business name, its industry, or financial data provided in the question. Another key habit of top students is that they justify everything. They don't just list points, they explain why something happens and why it matters. Instead of saying, expanding into international markets helps a business grow, they go further by explaining why expanding into international markets allows a business to access new customer bases, which can increase revenue and reduce dependency on domestic sales. This level of depth helps them earn full marks in extended responses. Strong evaluation is another area where top-scoring students stand out. They don't just say, "It depends," and leave it at that. They explain what it depends on and why. A weak evaluation might say, lowering prices can increase sales, but it also reduces profit, so it depends on the business. But a high-scoring evaluation will say, lowering prices can increase sales, particularly for price-sensitive customers. However, for premium brands like Apple, reducing prices could damage their brand image and reduce profit margins, making price reductions a less effective strategy. Whether a business should lower prices depends on its market positioning and target audience.
Another habit of top students is their use of business terminology. Examiners expect students to demonstrate their knowledge by using the correct terminology in their answers. Instead of saying, "The business makes money," top students write, "The business generates revenue." Finally, top students manage their time effectively. They don't waste time over explaining simple questions, and they plan their answers before writing for longer ones. In a 9 or 12 mark question, they take 30 to 60 seconds to outline their key points so their answer flows logically. They also stick to the 1 minute per mark rule, ensuring they complete the exam without rushing. Final exam strategy and takeaways. Now that we've covered what successful students do differently, let's talk about strategy. In your exam, always apply business context, use the company's name, industry, or financial data. Justify every answer, don't just list points, explain why they matter. Use business terminology, show your knowledge by using the right vocabulary. Structure your evaluation properly, make a decision, and justify it based on facts. And most importantly, manage your time effectively, stick to 1 minute per mark, and plan extended responses before writing. That's it for today. If you found this useful, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment with any exam-related questions. I'll be responding. Let's go into this exam fully prepared and get those top grades. See you in the next lesson.